To defy the odds, you have to risk everything and take chances. At Old Nation Brewing Company, we did just that. From an unknown startup brewery to standing alongside national craft brands in just under a decade, we remain one of the last of the large, independently owned breweries in Michigan. Our beer is respectfully brewed using only the highest quality ingredients, and we don't cut corners. With the times changing for everyone, one thing that stays the same is Old Nation's respect for great beer and the people who love it. We're growing in cans produced and fans made. When you taste our beer, you'll know why.
248-539-9797. It's the Valenti Show with Rico. I am in for Mr. Valenti, who will be back Monday. Kenny Cott, David Hull. We'll have Who Said It coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Tiger baseball coming up at 6:15. Jackson Jobe on the mound. Hey, Riley Green snapped out of it yesterday. 3 hits. They beat the Royals. Game 2, like I said, tonight. Tomorrow night on these airwaves, 6 o'clock. From the world's most famous arena, as they say, the Detroit Pistons will be taking on the New York Knicks. Game 1, first round NBA playoffs. And if you've listened to this show, Mike has always talked about the New York Post. And growing up on the East Coast like he did and I did, the New York Post was always something that you love to read, especially, the back page, and they very creative headlines. They're critical. It's of either their own teams or other things in the world. But the back page cover is always, dedicated to sports. And on their cover today, the back cover, there's a little on the banner. It says Aaron Rips Aaron, which is Aaron Rodgers on Aaron Glenn crime. And then there's this big picture of one Cade Cunningham with little pictures of Reggie Miller, Trae Young, and P.J. Brown, if you remember him. And the bold lettering next to Cade in the picture is Ready, Villain, and Able. Cade could be the next in MSG Parthenon of hate if Knicks don't take care of business versus Pistons. And I get it. Cade's the best player on the Knicks rivals roster. I just have never looked at Cade as villainous as especially Reggie Miller, Trae Young, and P.J. Brown was always innocuous to me anyway, but he, was kind of physical at times, and he made some big shots against the Knicks in that series when he played for the Miami Heat back in the day when they had the brawl at the end, and some Knicks were suspended for Game 7 in the Heat. I believe as an 8th seed upset the Knicks, and it was a 5-game series back then, if my memory is correct. But, Rico, do you look at Cade Cunningham as a villain?
I don't see him as a villain, but in New Yorkers, I can see how he is a villain because you got to remember the last time they were there in Madison Square Garden, Cade went off.
Yes.
He went off in the Garden.
Both games this year he went off.
And I think New Yorkers can see that and they remember, and yeah, it is a little bit of PTSD. I was shocked when I saw them in the same category because, yeah, as I've said it before, Trae Young, that became his coming out party to the entire NBA. He went out and did it on the big stage in the playoffs against New York, hitting big shots, game-winning shots, scoring 40-some points. Like, he went out there, and Reggie Miller, I mean, I watched that meltdown.
Yes.
That was the epic meltdown of just – that was the biggest choke job I've ever seen, ever. Like, he torched them, did the choke sign to Spike Lee, and then it was like you knew once he got the ball, he was going to hit it.
Yeah.
At some point, guys, can you stop him? No, the Knicks could not stop him.
Right.
And PJ, with the whole fight situation, as you said, I think the Knicks were up 3-1, getting to this fight, and next thing you know, they end up losing in 7 games. So that was problematic. Now they're saying, hey, Cade, because Cade is good. They don't want Cade to have his coming out party against them.
No.
They are afraid of Cade Cunningham.
But to use the term villain, and you being a lover of superheroes, to me, villain and Gotham City has Batman stuff written all over it. To me, the villain that they're going to hate the most is going to be Isaiah Stewart and maybe Ron Holland. And Beasley, too, for the shimmies and all that stuff.
No, see, they look at those guys as just the henchmen.
Okay.
The thugs. Like, oh, okay. You remember the old Batman thing with Adam West.
Right, they had the seconds.
Right, they would always be the henchmen who would go out there and take the beating.
Yes.
While the main villain would, drive away.
Right.
That's what they see, those guys. They don't think that they are a threat. Whereas Cade, they see Cade as a threat. And I was shocked that they revere him so much that when I saw that headline, I was like, wow, okay.
I don't think they revere him so much. I don't even think it's about him. I think it's about themselves. They can't lose this series. And the Knicks fans, they can't lose this. 73 has been the last time they won a championship. They're ready for a championship. And I think it's more about them. Oh, my gosh, we cannot lose again. And if they lose, it would be because of Cade. So they see him as just another reason why we didn't get it done. They're just afraid to lose. They cannot lose this series.
No, you're
period.
Right.
It's like when we talked about with the Lions, and the Lions fans were, we're moving on to the Eagles. No, they're not trying to move on to the next. They're afraid of what Cade can do, and they won't be at the next.
Well, because they want the Celtics.
Yes.
And that's who they'll get next, because the Celtics are the 2 seed, and they're the 3. So it wouldn't even be the 1 seed. They'll have to play Cleveland if they upset the Celtics, and then in the next round. They got a while to go. I don't think the Knicks are winning a championship.
I don't think so either. I mean, I think their closest one was a Game 7 against the Rockets back in the 90s.
Oh, yeah, when John Starks decided
John Starks went like 0 for 11 or something.
And Riley didn't pull him, right? It was Riley or Van Gundy? I think it was Riley.
No, it was Riley.
Yeah.
Riley didn't pull him.
Right.
He was awful. Charlie Ward, their entire backcourt couldn't hit a shot in that Game 7.
Well, they were never the same after the Bronco chase in that series.
Was that the Bronco Chase series?
I think it was, right? Wasn't it Knicks Rockets 94?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It is amazing how that chase changed it for them. Not OJ, it changed it for the Knicks.
No, I mean it's one of those moments. I was having a conversation. Give me 20 seconds. It was the Evander Holyfield, Riddick Bowe, and the Fan Man.
Yes.
And Riddick Bowe was beating the snot out of Holyfield. Fan Man lands in the middle of the ring. Mm-hmm. They stopped the fight for like 41 minutes. And when they came back, Bowe was done. And he never recovered from that. Yeah. I think one more round and the refs was going to be like, nope, this fight's over. So.
Yeah, I do have a question regarding the Pistons, because the Pistons did release their playoff roster. There's an interesting name on it.
All right. We'll discuss that coming up next. 97 won the ticket.